Israel has delivered a warning to Washington. If Iran crosses what Jerusalem calls a red line on ballistic missiles, we will strike alone if necessary. According to the Jerusalem Post, Israeli defense officials recently told their American counterparts that Iran's missile program now poses an existential threat. One senior source was quoted as saying,
"We told the Americans we will strike alone if Iran crosses the red line we set on ballistic missiles."
Israeli intelligence believes Tehran is expanding production infrastructure and improving missile accuracy. Capabilities that could allow Iran to hit deep inside Israel with little warning. Military planners have reportedly presented operational concepts to dismantle key manufacturing sites and storage facilities in a single, overwhelming campaign. The warning comes as the United States builds up forces across the Middle East. Thousands of American troops, an aircraft carrier strike group, fighter jets, and refueling planes have been deployed. Earlier this month, U.S. forces shot down an Iranian drone that approached the USS Abraham Lincoln in the Arabian Sea, while Revolutionary Guard boats threatened an American tanker in the Strait of Hormuz. Amid this volatility, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is preparing to meet U.S. President Donald Trump in Washington. It will be their 7th meeting since Trump returned to office. Netanyahu is expected to push for strict limits on Iran's ballistic missiles and an end to Tehran's support for Hamas and Hezbollah.
We have soared to new heights of strength and deterrence throughout the Middle East. Our planes, helicopters, and UAVs fly freely across the region's skies, striking those who have risen up to destroy us. The axis of evil, led by Iran, has encircled us with a deadly ring of fire and terror. The horrific massacre in the Gaza envelope was, for our enemies, only the opening stage of what they called the plan to destroy Israel. That is its official name, the plan to destroy Israel. But we had other plans. On the second day of the war, I said, we will change the face of the Middle East. Thanks to the bravery of our fighters on land, at sea, and in the air, thanks to the air and ground crews, both regular and reserve, thanks to the steadfastness of the people and all the citizens of Israel, thanks to the resolute decisions we made at the political level, thanks to all these, in 24 months of war, we have indeed changed the face of the Middle East.
Iran is drawing its own red lines. Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi insists any negotiations must focus solely on the nuclear issue, calling the missile program non-negotiable. President Masoud Pezeshkian described recent indirect talks in Oman as a step forward, yet warned that Iran would not accept the language of force.
Greetings and good morning to everyone. Why do we insist so much on enrichment and continue to do so, and are not willing to give it up, even if war is imposed on us? Because no one has the right to tell us what we should or should not have. This is based on the principle of rejecting domination. It is my right to carry out enrichment according to the law, and it is up to me whether I exercise this right or not. Over the years, we have always been told that we do not have the right to enrich uranium. Zero enrichment. Why? Because they say they are worried. You're worried? We're ready to address your concerns. You have questions? We'll answer them. There's no trust? We'll build trust. But no one has the right to tell us that we shouldn't have it just because they want it that way. That was the point. Independence, freedom, Islamic Republic. The issue of the freedom to enrich is important. But more importantly, the Islamic Republic of Iran must prove that it does not take orders from anyone at all. No one accepts domination.
Trump has offered mixed signals, calling the Oman talks very good, while also warning that failure would bring very steep consequences. He has not ruled out military action, saying a future strike on Iran could be far worse than before.
We had very, very good talks today, having to do with Russia, Ukraine. Something could be happening. We likewise had very good talks on Iran. Iran looks like it wants to make a deal very badly. We have to see what that deal is. But I think Iran looks like they want to make a deal very badly, as they should. Last time they decided maybe not to do it, but I think they probably feel differently. We'll see what the deal is. It'll be different than last time. And we have a big armada, we have a big fleet heading in that direction. We'll be there pretty soon. So we'll see how that works out.
Steve Witkoff, Jared Kushner met with Iran's foreign minister today. You also had Brad Cooper there, the head of CENTCOM. A deal doesn't look like it's been reached yet. How long are you willing to wait?
I think a deal can be reached. Well, you have to get in position. We have plenty of time. If you remember Venezuela, we waited around for a while, and we're in no rush. We have, very good talks going with Iran. We have very good talks going with Russia and Ukraine. We're doing a lot of good talking, and I think we had the results today were with Iran. It was a meeting. We're going to meet again early next week, and they want to make a deal. Iran, as they should, want to make a deal. The consequences if they don't make a deal. The consequences are very steep. So we'll see what happens. But they had a very good meeting with a very high representative of Iran, and we'll see how it all turns out.
So we'll give it a right scoop.
See that. By the way, I'd love to see that. If we could do that, I'd love to see it.
Mr. President, is a deal that is acceptable that only covers with Iran? Is there a deal that only covers nuclear that would be acceptable to you? Because they just want to have nuclear. They don't want to have anything else.
A deal that would be acceptable, but the one thing, and right up front, no nuclear weapons. If we could have made that deal 2 years ago, we would have made that deal, but they weren't willing to do that. Now they are willing to do it. So they're willing to do much more than they would have a year and a half ago, or even a year ago when don't forget, we've only been doing this for exactly 1 year. And we started with them a few months after the beginning of this term. This term has been amazing. But the results could surprise people. If they would have offered this deal originally when we first started, it would have been accepted immediately. We'll see what happens now.
Mr. President, a number of people in the MAGA base say they aren't satisfied with the administration just focusing on deporting violent criminals.
Who are you with?
I'm Natalie Ellison with the Washington Post.
Washington, well, you're having a hard time getting readers. Washington Post is doing very poorly. Go ahead. You have a very bad attitude. Go ahead.
Well, a number of people in your base say that they want to see all illegal immigrants deported, even ones who are otherwise
Let me tell you
not
about my
violent.
base. Let me tell you about my base. My base has never been stronger. My base is me and other very good people that love our country. And if you talk about my base or the MAGA base, you could call it a lot of America First base. They couldn't be more thrilled. We have crime down to the lowest level that it's been in 125 years. We have a border that's totally closed. We have all the things that our base wanted, and we have the best economy in history. Prices are down. We inherited very high prices and the highest inflation in the history of our country. Think of it, the highest or 48 years. Some people say 48 years, but I'll take either one. So my base is very happy.